Welcome to Farr Farms. Family run for 3 generations in beautiful Nyssa, Oregon, we've created quite a legacy. What started as rented farmland and equipment has blossomed into 3,300 acres of agricultural success. As common sense farmers, Farr Farms carefully grows 8 different crops in rotation in order to keep the soil healthy and usable for years to come. The most successful crop is our onions, which produce enough to feed over 2.8 million people. Straight from the field to our state-of-the-art packing shed, we monitor every step of the process to guarantee great quality produce that is shipped to our loyal customers through our thriving sister company, Owyhee Produce. This 60-year legacy was founded by Owen and his wife Colleen and passed down to each generation that followed.
Probably about 30 years ago, my dad and I were looking at it, and we had started growing onions, and we were growing for custom packing sheds, and the swings would be extremely high or extremely low depending on what happened in the onion world that year. And we had talked many times about how we should build a packing shed.
We started growing asparagus in the 1990s, and we used to grow it all, and it would go to Seneca up to be canned up there. And in probably the late 1990s, 2000s, they told us that all of that was going to be shipped overseas and that they would no longer need the U.S. production of asparagus.
And for them it was a good model, it made sense, but it left us with almost 200 acres of asparagus, newly planted in its peak and its prime, with a lot of money invested. And so what we decided to do is that we'd have to fresh market our own asparagus. We'd have to fresh pack it, we'd have to hydrocool it, we'd have to get out and figure out how to sell it. And it took a few years, but ultimately my mom was able to build some good relationships with some retailers and with some wholesalers, and we were able to prove that model would work. And the idea was, when I came back to the farm in 2006, that we could do the same thing with our onions. And we rented the Valley Packers in Adrian, and we picked the right year to start packing onions. So in the summer of '07, we built the packing facility on 3rd Street. 2007 was one of the lowest years in the last 10 years. Farmers chasing money and planting more acres just like we normally do. We were able to survive that year. 7 or 8 years later, here we are, still doing everything that we can to pack a quality product and take care of our customers.
Our storages that we have at this time can hold about 50 million pounds. So it keeps us busy for many months. We're able to sell 365 days a year. Of course, not all of that comes from this valley, but we're able to work with most of our customers and keep them satisfied with their onion needs for 365 days. So I'm over food safety. That's kind of my specialty, if you want to call it that. It has changed drastically over the years. When we first started, food safety, although it's always been a part of the farm and we've always done it, we haven't had to have the documentation that we have to have now. We do a third-party audit, which is required by most of our vendors. And then they're sent that information so they see how our standings are and what we're doing to improve, and we try to improve and make that better every year.
As a family-owned operation, we are able to do some things that other businesses aren't. Namely, when there's major changes that need to be made, it's a phone call or it's a conversation or it's a family meeting, and we say, look, this is what we're going to do, and we need a larger onion, we need a smaller onion, we need an onion that stores better, we need change X, Y, or Z. And so when a customer comes to us and they want something, we're in a unique position to be able to accomplish that. And it's not that other people can't or that they won't, it's just that we can accomplish it a little bit more quickly. I think the other thing that made a difference for us is our willingness to work late, to load on Saturdays, to load on holidays if it was necessary. And sometimes that's what you need to either open doors or to take care of your customers, because they get themselves in a position where their truck is late or it broke down, or they simply are going to run out of product. And the fact that it's a holiday doesn't really matter to them. They ultimately are going to have the product available for their customers. So going back again to the work ethic and the things that we learned on the farm, it ties together in a unique way that allows us to take care of our customers and accomplish things quickly.